Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Haley. Welcome to the vlog, the reading vlog specifically. I had a rough week last week, so I did not pick up Onyx Storm because my anxiety said no. It said we cannot handle things that will happen to certain characters whom I absolutely adore. So instead, I picked up Wild Love. I loved it. You didn't get to see it though because it was a 2-day binge read for me, but I thought I'd start off the vlog on this Sunday with telling you about Chasing the Slipstream, which is the next book that I'm going to be reading. And I'm 11 pages in, so not far at all. But from what I've read, we have this girl, and she is a PR person, and she's being flopped to a different teammate, whereas, like, in the first book, she was Tiago's PR manager, and she did a phenomenal job. And she hates this guy. There's, like, loathing, and she's like, I'll keep it together and professional for, like, like professional situations, but I hate him and I know that he hates me, and I think that might be why she hates him. She's like, internally, I know he hates me, and I'm like, girl, you sure? Okay. So, I have yet to read his POV, but we'll see. I'm so excited. I think her name's Ava. Ava, and the guy's name is Rowan, and Rowan is an F1 race car driver, and he was the teammate of the guy in the first book. And from what we saw of him, he's a little bit sassy. We saw him interact with Ava a little tiny bit, and like you could tell that she's a little bit sassy back. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the banter. I'm excited to read. I enjoyed the first book of the series so much. This is the second book, but it's a series of standalones in an F1 world setting, kind of. I'm excited. And we'll see where this goes from here, but I thought I would introduce the vlog and say welcome and tell you that I'm so excited to read this week, and I'm excited for a good week. This is going to be a good week. Because I also, one more thing. I picked up The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And I am not a self-improvement reader, so this was a jump for me. It's my boyfriend's book, and he's letting me underline anything that I want in it, which is lovely of him. Absolutely adore him. And this has been so fun. I'm that far in. I'll probably finish it this week. I've just been kind of taking it like a chapter a day because it's like a slice of advice that you need to like kind of mull over and everything. But it's so fucking funny. Like, I highly recommend. As someone who was not open to self improvement and who is now reading one, this is funny and it's a good time. And it teaches you a lot of interesting ways to look at the world. So that's cool. But right now I've got to go to a family dinner, which is why I look a little bit dressed up just a little bit, and I will see you guys with updates later in the week when I read those 2 books, possibly another one. We'll see how much reading I do. I have a test tomorrow, and I think next week is my like first week of exams or like similar things, so we'll see. Anyway, I hope you're having a good morning, noon, or night whenever you're watching this, and let's get on with the video. Oh my god. Oh my god, the way I fold for all of her men. The men fold first for the women. It's a lovely time. So in this book we have Rowan and Ava, and Rowan is an F1 racer. He's been kind of struggling to get on like pole positions, and he struggles a little bit with qualifying for races at all, and that's like bad for him because obviously he needs to do better, and he has people in his life like his father, like the team principal, who really get down on him and make him feel like he's lesser. That's like his like personal problem. Like he feels like he's not good enough at anything. And then we get Ava, and Rowan and Ava despise each other. Like, we're talking insults. We're talking like every time they see each other, they have to snipe at each other. And there's a bunch of descriptions about them getting like angry or like their nerves going off, and like they feel like they're like on fire inside when the other person's near, which obviously there is a very, very thin line between hate and love. And it's been a great time. I am 40% of the way through. In this book, jump basically race to like event, because obviously it's different from the first book in that the first book, the girl didn't know about F1, but our girl is entrenched in F1 business. And I feel like I have learned so much about the sport from these books. And today I did indeed add the races to my calendar because they came up on my For You page when they were showing off the new outfits, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll go see when the races are. And the outfit debut and like the car debut just happened in here, and I was like, that's so wild. But obviously, like, I follow the author on Instagram, so it's not really wild that the algorithm like brought that up for me. Anywho, It's so good. The banter is so good. And we do bridge, we cross the line between hating you and feeling lusty about you pretty quickly. I think I was like 37% of the way through, which normally I like a slow burn, but obviously there's conflict because she's his PR officer. You're not supposed to fraternize with everyone. And I guess I didn't tell you about Ava. Okay, so Ava is very kind and she's very lively, and then she's so kind that she often gets overlooked in some situations. Like she went out with her friends and all of her friends left her at the bar and he ended up taking her home. That's kind of her thing. And obviously, like compared to Rowan, she was like, how is this man ever going to like see me, and I don't want him to see me, and like he's this player and whatnot. So we deal with that too. So both of these characters are gonna come like head to head in terms of their conflicts, and I've already seen a couple scenes where they help each other grow, which I love. I love the growth, the character growth. So good. It's just been a fun time. I've been giggling and squealing, and I read it at school, and I still had like reactions. Not as much as the other book, because the other book they were like very polarized in terms of like we can't be together and I don't want you to touch me. But in this book, it moves from enemies to lustiness to why am I caring about this person? Like I don't like them, but then they kind of are realizing that like they don't know why they don't like each other. Whatever. It's a great time. It's a great time. I have plans probably to pick up a fantasy romance do this week since I'm almost halfway through the book and it's Monday already. So hopefully I can squeeze 2 books into this vlog. Additionally, I did get some amazing things in the mail. I got bookish prints and I opened them off camera. I'm so sorry because I didn't know if I was gonna film. And then my father was like, "Don't you have your like filming thing to do?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess I'll go do that," because I was just putting it off. So I was like, I don't look that great, but we're here. Pimples are out. Hair has been freshly washed and blow dried. And we're here with Nesta and Cassian. And it's got, whatchamacallit, gold foiling. And this is like a huge print. This is a 11 by 14, and I didn't realize how big it was, so I had to go get a frame from Marshall's. And it is gonna go right there for now. But I kind of want to make this like whole wall a collage, but also like we need something, and we need something over there too. So we'll see what else happens. And then I got Feyre. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, there we are. You can kind of see that it's gold foil, but she's gorgeous. And that one goes behind my desk over there. But sometimes now the only thing that I have coming in the mail for me are the rest of my Kindle stickers, and this is what my Kindle looks like. So we got a sparkly Zayden Ryerson, a bunch of other cute stickers. My favorite one is "Sorry I Can't. The Enemies Just Became Lovers," which is the pink text box. It looks kind of dirty. Maybe it's just the glare. Anywho, my boyfriend's on the way over, and we gotta go do some returns. And I probably won't read any more tonight, but I do plan on reading tomorrow, and I am just so excited to finish this book. He just said that he'll do a PowerPoint presentation for her if she gets fired, because obviously like there's no fraternization clause, but he'll make a PowerPoint for her. Shut up. Shut up. Hello everyone. I finished chasing the Slipstream today, and I just had to write down all of my talking points because they were on my phone. I kept on having to switch out of the video that I was recording to see them again. So we're just gonna do this take once more, and we're gonna hope that it turns out the way I want it to. So, first of all, this book is a 4-star with a 4 chili pepper spicy rating from me, and that's more than the first book was. However, I do have the reason it was rated lower than the first book is because I have a couple things that took me out of the story just a little bit. So, first off, the word physique and gaped are used multiple times. Gaped, I'm not sure is used correctly, and I don't know if I've already said that, but I'm pretty sure that it's not used correctly. There's also a lot of lyrics in this book. Taylor Swift lyrics, and we got the Goo Goo Dolls lyrics and a couple other ones I want to say, which is fine. Like you can do it once. The first book relied pretty heavily on like having lyrics cool, and like as a Swiftie myself, I was like, oh, cute. But like it got to the point where every long paragraph of them like internally professing their love for each other used the lyrics. And I was like, okay, like in a song those lyrics work, but like in like inner monologue, no one would think that. Least of all the dude. Rowan, for someone who was emotionally shut down most of the time and didn't grow up with a good parental relationship to model his own emotions off of, he, or like, well, really, he says, he's like, I don't know what love is because I grew up in like a home where like his parents just had an awful relationship. So for him to be going on and on and in metaphors and similes about how much he loves her and he compares her to the galaxy and the moon and the storm and all these things, I was like, it just took me out a little bit because I was like, I don't know if that's totally believable, but if you can buy into it, there's no issue. Also, the characters felt a little bit flat. Around 70%, I kind of got a little bit tired of the like caricatures that they're modeled after because obviously like they're like, oh, I hate this person, and like, oh, she like hates me and I hate him, and that's like our relationship. So like I got a little bit tired of that, and we didn't really like, we saw character growth, but I feel like there was such a jump that we were kind of told about instead of shown. Like I would have liked to see like more scenes with them like getting to know each other, and we did get like a little bit of that. For them to like be falling in love, I was like, I need a little bit more quality time, if you will. And additionally, Rowan is apparently has been obsessed with her, which does not come across at all. And like that's something that comes around and like comes in the end of the book, but it's not really a spoiler really, because like obviously if people hate each other and like everyone's like, well, I don't really hate you, and like whatever, but I just wish it would have been foreshadowed a little bit more. Like I found it kind of hard to believe because we had only seen like the snarky side, and you do like kind of see it a little bit, but I wished it was done a little bit better. And also the spicy scenes in this book are very graphic, which is not, it's not a knock against the book. They're written very well, but they are graphic. I just thought that I should mention that. And then his relation Rowan's relationship with his father is very very bad. Like this man calls him and berates him for the littlest mistakes. He talks down to him. He There is off-page child abuse mentioned, so just if that's triggering, I would steer clear of this one. Okay, now for the good things. The tea, the tea in this book, like so many things were happening, and I was like, I want to know all these side plots. Like, give me the side plots. It was insane. And you kind of deal, since she's in like PR with like the snarky kind of people. So we had her having enemies. Like her boss is really mean to her, and then something happened, and it was because of some like people at work kind of ignore her a little bit. Also, we get to see Rowan's family, and his sister has a baby, and we don't. And additionally, book four, I think I know the setup for that, which is cool. I'm very excited. I think we're getting like a team principal's daughter and the F1 racer of a different team. So it would be kind of like an enemies to lovers again. And Rowan carries our main girl a lot. He carries her so much, and I loved it. I was like a princess style carry. Like he's like, oh, I'll just pick her up and I'll carry her, which was really cute. She also mentioned that she hasn't had an animal ever because she's lived with people who are allergic to them. So you know. And Rowan is covered in tattoos, and that's all I'm gonna say about that one too. And there's also the one of them is sick and the other person is gonna take care of them trope, which I love. I love. I love. I love. I love. And Tate, Rowan's physiotherapist, in Rowan's relationship is so funny. Like they have banter too, and Tate kind of functions as an in between our two main characters when they're fighting, and I loved that too because he was off. You can tell like he was friends with both of them. And yeah, the list has been discarded now. I had a fun time. Like as much as I had was nitpicky about the writing and maybe a little bit about the characters, I had a really good time, and I would still recommend this book. It's a 4.25 stars, so that's saying something. I feel like that was so negative. Anyway, I gotta go because I gotta get to work and I have to change and get ready for that. but I'm not quite sure what I'll read now. We're not going to think about it. I'm not going to say it until I choose the book. Okay, I'm going to go 4.25 stars and a 4 chili pepper rating. Would recommend, especially in the summer. Good vibes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fourth Wing, aka the section of this vlog where I am going to be reading Onyx Storm. I'm so like, I just don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with myself. Well, obviously, I'm going to do this to myself, and we shall see how that goes. I know 2 people in real life who have finished it, and one person said that it was kind of mid until the ending, and like it ended in typical Rebecca Yarros fashion, and then the other person said that the ending was really fast paced, but not a lot about the middle. I have also heard that there's a lot of info dumping in here, but I don't think I'll mind. I am just incredibly anxious about this book, and it says Brave the Dark on the cover, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. So it's Friday, and I have no other plans for the next couple hours besides sitting here and reading this book. I'm currently on page 30, and we pick up right where we leave off in Iron Flame. It's over there. Oh, also, do we like my hair? I figured I would get fancy for the occasion. I think I did a pretty good job. Like, besides the fact that maybe it could just be a little bit more streamlined, as I'm sure Violet's is a little bit more streamlined, but I thought I'd dress up. I was originally wearing black today anyway, and I was like, oh my god, let's go. So, I'm gonna read, and we're gonna see what happens, and wish me luck. Okay, obviously the hair has changed because I put this hoodie on and the hair did not survive the hoodie. So, it is what it is. And I'm on page 117 right now. It's so good. It's so good. I don't know why anyone is like, "Oh my god, like there is a lot of information getting to us." And I also assume that if you're watching this vlog, because I will have put the book in the title, that you want to know a little bit about it, because I have been avoiding vlogs like the plague. It's just me. But I'm assuming that you would want to know. And it's a lot less depressing than I thought. It's actually not very depressing. You just kind of have to get through the first 20 pages. And I stopped like on release day at the first 20 pages because I was like, I'm not in the mental headspace to be sad and anxious right now. Like, granted, like it's still anxiety inducing because obviously we have to solve this situation. But it's good. It's really good. And it's this like it's a good old time. And Ridoc is still amazing. Throwing in those good one-liners. Fun times, fun times. And we're kind of seeing everyone work together, and we are like functioning on more of a global scale, which is kind of cool because we didn't get that in the first 2 books, and we're dealing with like more political leaning stuff. What else did I know I have more to. I'm gonna check my notes. Be right back. Okay, also, it's really Rebecca did such a good job because obviously the first 2 books receive a little bit of criticism, and there are some common criticisms that like people talk about, and we literally have Ridoc. Ridoc literally comments on one of the criticisms just flat out, and I'm over here dying because obviously Rebecca was definitely aware that these criticisms existed, or maybe she purposely made the characters act a certain way and then was gonna come back and be like, I know that I made them do that, or like that I plotted it this way, but just like I know. So it was so funny. Like I literally laughed out loud. What else? Oh, it's very Team Caves, Crescent City. If you know what that means, it's very Team Caves. We have a Team Caves happening. And there was another thing. Oh, yeah, Violet? She is standing up for herself. I was so impressed. And she stood up for another character. And she just like walked up and she was like, you gotta stop being a bitch and you just gotta get your shit together to this other person. And she's like, it's for the greater good, so suck it. And she won the argument. And then, speaking of the flaws of the past books, one of the professors stops whatever is happening. And she's like, there will be no more needless dying because everyone is necessary now. Which is so funny because I've seen so much criticism about the fact that we like the cadets die and so many people who could like possibly ride dragons and be in the military, die just for shits and giggles on the parapet and whatnot and on the gauntlet, and like people would just like challenge each other and kill each other. And we got a comment on that. Good to know that she's following up on her fallacies. And that maybe like I watched an interview and it said that she did have the whole series plotted before she began writing it, like, which props to her, because that's great, and I am not a planner like that, but boy do I wish I was. So now we see like it's coming along. It's moving fine. Everything is great. Well, not everything is great, but like I'm having a fun time. It reads super fast like all the other stuff, and I'm just so excited to see where it goes. I'm about almost a quarter of the way through. It's like 530 pages, and I'm on page 117, like I said. So my goal was to read to like 125 as soon as I saw the end number, but I'm gonna go shopping, and you cannot blame me. It's Friday night. Of course I'm gonna go shopping. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. And I'll be back with more updates. But it's been a good time. I just love Ridoc. He's great. And also I call him Ridoc in my head. And I was voice typing to my friend about him, and it came up spelled like Riddick, like Ridoc. And I was like, am I right? And it's Ridoc, but whatever. I'll let that slide. It's Ridoc, just like Rysand is Rysand, and I'm sure I'm missing some other names that I mispronounce all the time because that is what I do. It's what every reader does. Every fantasy reader does. Okay, I'm gonna go look a little bit more presentable, and I will be back with updates. Goodbye. Holy shit. Well, I did not see that coming. Page 148. Did not see that coming. That's crazy. That's crazy. We learned another one of Violet's exes, and that's nuts. That's insane. How did... I guess things make sense. Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. I love Xaden. I love Xaden so much. Like, obviously I love Ridoc, but like, nothing beats Xaden. Nothing. Oh my god. Alright, hello everyone. This should be more of a structured update because I am 2/3 of the way through. And I'm going to do this in little sections. So first we're going to talk about the plot. We do get the expansion in terms of like where we go, which is really cool. And to that extent, Andarna wants to eat literally everything in sight, and we just love her for that. We absolutely do. Taryn also has to really girl dad in this one, and we see Andarna kind of go fly over by mom when she's mad, which is actually so funny. Additionally, the plot is kind of structured in not really like trials, because that's not what they are, but like we have certain steps that we need to take in order to accomplish our end goal. That's a plot, babe. That's basically what plot is. But we're doing those things, and it's cool. You're kind of like checking off the list with every single thing that we do. I'm trying to be really vague here. And in terms of character relationships, we do have a team, and the team dynamics are so fun. So fun to explore. There's so much of like them like talking to each other and bantering, and we see a lot more of Mira in this book, who I absolutely love. And I think we've met a potential love interest. I'm really hoping. And when she meets him, she knees him in a certain place. And that's just the perfect meet cute because of something that he did. And it was really, really funny. Not that he did something like bad. Not that it's bad. It's not bad. But it was really funny. We see developments with a certain girly pop who we met in the second book, which are cool. We see Violet and Xaden having emotional conversations, and they're still their bantery selves. We get jealous Xaden, which is amazing. And then we get flirty Xaden, which I love even more. I love flirty Xaden so much. I would do anything for that man. He's smooth. He has Riz. I'll say it. I'll say it. He knows what to do. He knows what to say. And I'm also coming to love Dane. Do with that what you will, but Dane kind of moving up the ranks. we get this really funny scene where there's a 90-year-old grandma and she goes, wow, like those are some fine looking young men when she looks at Dan and Zayden, which I thought was so funny, and they share a look, and that was just a really great scene. There are so many like great scenes and details in this book. We have of we have a miles and kilometers moment in the book, which is so funny because that is such a like funny little detail from real life to place in a book, and I feel like that makes it all the more real that she's able to reflect that. What else? I know there's more things. Mm, I'm gonna grab my iPad. I've seen on the internet that it's kind of confusing to follow people in this book, which I do somewhat agree with because we refer to people with last names, which we haven't done before. And I've had to reference the front quite a bit, and I also just did not know who some characters were, and they weren't even in the front of the book, and I had to really use context clues to figure out all of that. We also have a deadline that must be met, and Violet makes some decisions that are possibly going to have ramifications um after said deadline, and we really need our girl to like find the things that she needs to find and do the things that she needs to do, and she really needs those things to kind of safeguard her own well-being. And with two-thirds of the way through and we're still not finding the things that we need to find, I am starting to get a little bit more like, okay, like we need to like make progress. Like we only have a few more like bullet points to check off on the list, and the anxiety is kind of getting amped up. The stakes are being amped up as well, which is great plotting, but also not so great for the heart in the anxiety, which is fine. But it's just such a good time. The banter, the relationships, we're just seeing so much growth, and I absolutely love it. So I will probably be back when I am finished reading the book, which I don't know when that will be because I have, what is it? I have two tests coming up in 2 days that I do need to study for because your girl put that off just a little bit. So I will be doing that. And hopefully I'll finish the book by the end of the week. That's my goal. End of the week. I can do this. We got this. We got this. And I wish you speedy reading with whatever book that you are reading as well. Ridoc for the win. I can't. I don't know if I like where this is gonna go. I'm really nervous. Did not expect that to happen. Oh, thank God. I thought we were really cooked here, guys. And not in a good way. I got home, and I'm just gonna sit here until I finish this. So that's the plan. I probably could cry. I could cry. I already cried at one part a little bit, but there's no. Well, I guess it could have ended worse, but this is a really, 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 really sad ending. And I don't know what to do. Rebecca really knows how to escalate a situation. I'm shook, and I'm scared for book 4, and that's awful. Good, like honestly, like props to figuring out that solution. Sorry, I'm being so vague, but I'm so sad. Why? And I'm not okay. I feel empty. Oh God, I don't even want to give it a 5 star. I'm suing it for emotional damage because oh my God. Wanna? Oh no, I just got my greasy forehead on it. That's great. I don't want to give it 5 stars. Like that is a terrible. Why? Why? I'm in so much pain. The ending, she doesn't pull the punches. She really, really doesn't pull the punches. Um, I don't want to give it 5 stars. But it is a 5 star read. I don't know what to do with myself now. I need a romance. I need a romance. I need a rom-com. I need to study. That's what I really need to do. But I'm actually so nervous that I'm going to get in a book hangover because of this. This is the first book I finished in February, and it's already February 7th, so that just fucking sucks. Okay. I thought I thought we'd get a resolution, but we don't. We get an escalation, and that's just worse. Like, I'm mad. I'm sad and I'm mad. I'm smad right now. Why? Anyway, 5 stars. You have one singular spicy scene in this book, so we're gonna call it a. It's still like a 3 because there is pretty explicit content, but oh my god, there's nothing else that I can really say right now. That's it. Maybe I need to come back with some coherent thoughts because I feel like my world has been ruined and shifted. And if you haven't read these books, please go read them. Please go read them because oh my god. I'm smad. I why do we have to leave it there? Why are we left there? I'm gonna go eat dinner. We're gonna try and have a good rest of the day. And I think I need to jump straight into another book. Alright, we need to have a bit of an update because I've been studying and oh my god, I started a book called Night Shift and it's about a bookish 5'11" girly pop and she's on the night shift at the library because she doesn't like to party and like her friends are out and she's like, I'll just take the night shift so someone else can go out and party. Well, enter tall, handsome basketball player who needs help finding poetry. So one thing leads to another. He kind of calls her out on her being kind of nervous to really get out there, and he's like, that's why you're really not partying. And she's like, oh my god, that's not true. And he goes, prove it. So they kiss in the stacks. They kiss in the stacks. And then we kind of go from there where she has like tutored him and now she's at his birthday party. And I had to come on because oh my god, I'm a kin major, so like muscles and like movements are my thing. And what he's doing is she's like, well, maybe like you can help tutor me. And she goes, what muscle was it? She's like, what's this muscle? And he rambles it off. And then she was like, oh cool. And then he's like, you don't want to know more? And he goes, what is this muscle? And he kisses her on her trapezius. And the kin major of me absolutely died. But it's super good. I mean, I'm listening to it it's an audiobook at like 2 or 1.75x speed, and I'm almost halfway through it. It's only 8 hours, so it's not that long. And I'm very interested to see where we go. I'm loving it so far. I'm like gasping and being super shocked because our girly pop is a romance book reader. She's like, well, if this was a book, this would happen. So I'm absolutely loving it. And obviously she's a tall girly pop, and I love a tall girly pop because I am a tall girly pop. And our basketball player man is very, very tall, has very, very large hands, and can lift her up. So those are wins in my book. I'm gonna go back downstairs and keep studying. I just came up here for light and a bit of quiet to chat with you guys, but I'm having such a great time. After I study, maybe I'll just keep listening and crochet. Hello everyone, I'm here to very quickly wrap up the vlog. Sorry if I look a little bit red. I got new skincare from The Ordinary and the serum is red, so didn't know that it might reflect on my face, but here we are. And I have taken a day to sit with this. It's still 5 stars. I still thought it was a great book. And I loved the kind of different avenues that we got for the plot. We kind of got 3 different things happening and I really enjoyed all of them. They happen in sequential order, so you're not like going 3 different ways with many viewpoints. You do follow Violet as she deals and solves and searches for things, and I really enjoyed it. Again, I really loved the familial, like, found family aspect of this one because we got to see so many character dynamics. We also got to read from a couple different POVs in the end, and I'm wondering if the fourth book is going to be the same way. Additionally, the relationship arc was pretty minimal, and it is like the second book, you're kind of battling the same issue again for the whole entire story. The ending was incredibly shocking. I'm still shocked. I cannot wait for my best friend to read it so that we can chat about it because, my god, I mean, we all really saw it coming and it was foreshadowed really well, and you don't know it at the time. Violet's signet is insane. We have just some really insane plot twists that I was not prepared for. So go into this, you know, open-minded, open-hearted, and be ready to have a wild, wild ride. Second off, I started and finished an audiobook called Night Shift, and that was my rebound from Onyx Storm, but it was anything but a rebound. It was a 4.5-star read for me. It was so much fun. I'll pop the cover up right here. It's such a cute cover. So in this book, we follow Kendall, who works the night shift at the library, and she is bookish. She has a group of 3 like hardcore friends, and she works the night shift on Fridays so that other people can go out and party while she can read her romance novels in peace. I'm pretty sure I already actually went over what this book was about, but either way, it takes span over a month, and it was just so much fun. You do really only get the beginning aspect. I swear I'm wearing a shirt, guys. You do only get the beginning of the relationship, which I really love, and the epilogue was literally them saying I love you. Not really a spoiler, but we really get them falling in love. We get a lot of really cute firsts, and it's so, so, so sweet. The guy in this book is just as kind of, what's the word? He's just as, not really new, but like, he wants to do good and be good for the girl, and like she wants the same for him. So there's good communication after a couple fumbles and everything is just so, so sweet, and I really loved it. It is also hot. It was really hot, and I loved the narration. The narration was really good quality, and I listened to that thing non-stop. I listened to it while I studied, I listened to it in the car, while I was making dinner. It was a really, really fun read, and it's only 8 hours, so if you can listen on 2 times speed, it's really only 4 hours of stuff. So if you have a long weekend where you're cleaning or you need to like make some flashcards, I highly, highly recommend that book. I actually super, super, super loved it. Don't know if that was correct grammar, but I had such a fun time with it. And I highly recommend. Basketball player meets cute literary girly. I'm wearing my cardigan to reflect the cover of that, and it was just a great time. I really recommend that book. I know you didn't really see much of it besides me like freaking out because Vincent, he knows what to say. He knows what to say. And if you need a romance, that's like a really great time. 4.5 stars for me. Spice level was probably a 4. I highly recommend that book. I'm so glad I read it. I might end up getting it in paperback. I don't really know, because it was just a great book. Was it a little bit surface level? For sure. We did deal with the flaws of the characters a little bit, and kind of getting past the points where they've kind of been emotionally for like most of their lives. Like our girl is kind of timid, the guy's also a little bit timid, so it's kind of about them getting to know other people and being like willing to like take the jump and take the risk. And the end was kind of an ode to romance novels, and I really loved the like couple paragraphs at the end there where you kind of really get the message of the story, and it's kind of about going out and living your own story instead of merely being a bystander. And I think it's a series, and I'm not sure when the next book comes out, but it's the Daydreamer series, and I'm really looking forward to it. We do have a friend who kind of gets with another one of the basketball players, so I wonder if we're gonna see her story because it doesn't really go anywhere. Kind of ends badly for her, but we'll see. All in all, a pretty good reading. It's really been 2 weeks. It's really been 2 weeks, but at least I've read 2 books so far in February, you know? This was a fun reading vlog. I'm not gonna lie, though we did pick up and put down Onyx Storm a bit just because it was hectic and I was so incredibly scared. I still had a super fun time. Oh my god, you can see me. It's some crisscross applesauce on my bed right now. And I really hope you're having a good day, night, evening, noon, morning, whenever you're watching this. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.